Will this Xabi saga be another Bellingham saga? Look, I'm confused about one thing about the whole Xabi Alonso situation in Liverpool. This wait until the summer part, we can't be doing that. We can't. We just can't. I know, I totally understand the side of it from the Leverkusen side, Alonso side, all of that, but we can't wait till the summer. Like, we cannot hang on that late, because that means you're playing catch up with transfer business. It means you're just playing catch up. We need to get this resolved as early as possible, in my humble opinion. This video is sponsored by Surfshark, the best VPN on the market. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to access websites in other countries and keep you safe and secure from hackers. Using Surfshark, we here in Ireland can access other countries' Netflix libraries or other streaming platforms like DAZN in Spain for all those important Premier League games. Surfshark keeps you safe and private by protecting everything you do online. Everything. When your device connects to the internet, all that information is, in a way, blurred out. Surfshark is particularly useful for keeping you safe from being hacked if you use public Wi-Fi. Let's say you're in a cafe, you're at college, you're out and about, they've got you covered. Surfshark allows you to use one subscription on unlimited devices, meaning you can share your account with friends or family or that neighbour who's a little bit cheap. On top of all of this, Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can also upgrade to Surfshark One, which includes the VPN, an alert system for breaches related to your data, such as emails and credit cards, and an antivirus software for your desktop. Our sign-up offer gives you Surfshark VPN for a little over €2 a month, and you'll get an additional 3 months free. Simply scan the QR code on screen right now or use the link in the description and enter the code Anfield Agenda at checkout. So from Transfer Sector, they say Liverpool have made a first approach for Xabi Alonso to replace Jurgen Klopp at the end of the season. It's so confusing, right? Because I do get the respectful side of it for Leverkusen, who, and look, if this was the other way around and somebody was coming in to try and take our manager when we were in a title race and in the European competitions and still in the domestic competition and still unbeaten, yeah, it would be a distraction and it would be a pain in the backside. But that's why I think it makes sense that it's sorted sooner. So let's say, as an example, we heard an announcement next week that at the end of the campaign, Xabi Alonso would become the next Liverpool manager. I think that just lets everybody then get back to work and finish the campaigns that they have. Fans, we can look forward to the last few months with Jurgen Klopp. Leverkusen know where they stand. That would be my preference, but of course it would. I'm a Liverpool fan who wants Xabi Alonso to be our next manager, so let's wait and see what happens. I mean, there's some quotes from the Bayer Leverkusen side. Their sporting director, Mr. Rolfs, I believe his name was, said he was asked if the Spaniard would be at the club next season, and he replied, "Yes, I'm sure. One reason, the contract. The other thing is how comfortable he feels, the family, himself, and he knows what club he has." He said he's also a very good team. We have a very good perspective next year. There's no change in the team. We'll definitely have a top team available next year. These are all points that, in addition to contracts, coaches like Xabi, but also players who have interest, often stay with us. So he seems a little bit confident that Alonso will still be there next season. Can't say I feel that confident. I think he's nailed on to come to Liverpool, in all honesty. And I think he will take the opportunity if the job's offered to him. But as of right now, he is obviously the Bayer Leverkusen manager, and we have to respect that. Fully agree, Craig. Always has to be Alonso for me. Would bring an amazing style of football. We can call it Xabi ball, but I really hope it's not Bellingham all over again. Look, on this one, I'm going to make it really clear. I have nothing. I don't know anything you don't know. I'm just basing my thought process off what's most likely, and I can't see another person as good a fit as Alonso. But we have to convince him, obviously, that it's the right move for him. And if we can do that and he becomes Liverpool manager, I think we'll all be very happy. If we can't do that and he stays with Leverkusen or goes elsewhere, then I'm genuinely stumped as to who's the other option. I don't know if Ruben Amorim is the guy. Certainly wouldn't feel comfortable with Julian Nagelsmann at Liverpool. I don't think Yeah, he's a good cultural fit for me anyway. And outside of that, I don't really have many other names in world football that I think would be a good fit right now to come in and take over the job that's been so incredibly done by Jurgen Klopp. Leverkusen football is so nice. I'd like to see it next season in Liverpool. Do you think Alonso will play with a back three? I think so, P. I hope so. Like, I can't imagine the manager coming in and re-change it, or excuse me, changing his philosophies and the way he sets his teams up. I think we could do the system that Leverkusen play. We might need to bring in another centre back, but you know, if you're looking at wing backs and stuff, we definitely have the personnel to be able to play those. Whether it's Costas, whether it's Robbo, whether it's Bradley, whether it's Trent, we definitely do have personnel that can play in those wing back positions. It's the number 10s that would probably be my concern. Like, would he look to get a tune out of Fabio Carvalho, as an example? Would he look at him as somebody who'd be a good fit for a system? What happens with the sporting director? Who makes the signings? These are all things that we kind of not take for granted, but we're so used to with Jurgen Klopp. We know he's the decision maker. He's the last say on these things. But with a new manager coming in, you know, the trust has to be built up and earned, I guess, with the owners. What would happen if Xabi comes in and underperforms? I guess it depends on the expectations. Steel FC, I don't know what everybody's expectations will be of a new manager coming in. I think as long as we're still in the conversation for a Champions League qualification spot after year one, then that'll be okay. Obviously, you'd hope for a little bit more than that, but at this point, the goal has to be to make sure we can keep getting Champions League football and keep generating Champions League money, especially with the way the new FFP system that's been spoken about could be implemented. Could give us more wiggle room to spend money. And that's another part. How much money is he going to be given? Like, would he come into the club and the owner say to him, well, Jurgen's already rebuilt this team. We don't think it needs that much, so therefore you're going to have somewhat of a limited transfer budget. Or would they come in and back him from the start and say, well, look, yes, there's a good team there, but if you need 2 or 3 people, let's do it early doors. Let's front load and see how we get on. I'd hope that's the case. You know, you'd certainly look for some assurances, whoever you are coming into a new job. Do you think there will be a transition in success like from Joe Fagan to Dalglish? Honestly, no. I don't think there's going to be too much of a drop off. That's my initial instinct. Is that, okay, yes, Xabi will come in, or whoever comes in, and they'll want to make their stamp on the team and they'll want to get them playing a slightly different brand of football perhaps, but ultimately I don't expect much of a drop off now, because there's a lot of good senior players at Liverpool Football Club who have been around a while now, and I think that what Jurgen has done last summer, building for this season and rejigging the midfield a bit, I think that's done a lot of the heavy lifting for whoever the next manager is. So, like I always say, they're coming in here to a great group of players, a club that isn't in crisis, you know, a stadium that's now got a capacity of 60 odd thousand, and the signs are positive. So yeah, it's a really good job for somebody, whoever comes in to take over from Jurgen. What happens if we don't get Alonso? Yeah, that's it's a question, Luca, I've been asking myself over the last few days, mate. I'm almost arrogant in my belief that we'll get Alonso. But if we don't, yeah, it's a fair question. My initial answer is that it will feel like a disappointment if we don't get Alonso. That's, you know, me being honest. I'm pretty much set to think we'll get Alonso. So it would come as a pretty big disappointment if we didn't. The idea of Xabi Alonso coming in to take over from Jurgen Klopp is, after I got to grips with the idea of Jurgen leaving, it kind of helped settle me, if I'm being honest with you. It helped calm me down a little bit, because when I first heard Jurgen was leaving at the end of the season, I was, to say shocked would be an understatement, but scared is probably the next word, because it's been a lovely 9 years knowing we have that consistency of manager, and we know what he can get out of the players and how we can inspire the players and how we can orchestrate the audience or the crowd inside Anfield. And yeah, it's a scary new world, the idea of no Jurgen.